always heard how impressive it was. The stories didn't do it justice. This is all so much to absorb. I would appreciate your counsel if you have time to speak privately. I don't mean to distract you. I just wanted someone familiar around me for a moment, if only to reassure me that we are still in the Empire I thought I knew. I have long dreamed of reaching the Imperial City, but now that I have, under these circumstances, I am more overwhelmed than ever. But that's what is bothering me. We can't be a long way from home because our home is gone. I can no longer say that what I see is strange or foreign because I have lost what I would have compared it to. I am the one out of place now. I would like that. To know you will be there no matter what. I've never had that stability, at least not before joining the school. As a child, I was marked by ill omens, apparently named for them. The people in Two Rivers were polite, but many did not hide the discomfort I caused them. I was watched, studied. If someone's ox died within a season of me bumping my head, it was somehow my fault, and I was treated like a pariah. How do you deal with being able to sense the spirit world when people make such absurd conclusions? I cannot change who I am, I know. Perhaps I just have to let all of that go. It will not be easy. But I do feel that you have given me a strength I did not have before. I very much appreciate your support. We should continue this discussion later. I have much to think about, and our work here has only just begun. The Imperial City. I never dreamed I would reach it. Don't go too far. I'd get lost in this city. I know it.
Be on the lookout for the Scourge of the South. It is your duty as citizens of the Empire to report anyone who matches this description. Keep an eye out for a large, wild-looking man wearing nothing but a loincloth. Reports suggest he is well over 7 feet tall and fully armed. This man is very dangerous. Do not try to apprehend the Scourge of the South, but instead report what you've seen to the authorities immediately.
Well, all these years together, and I never suspected you were the Scourge of the South. I'm sorry. I know it's not funny. At least they didn't get your looks right.
The Scourge of the South has destroyed whole villages in the...
Look at this place. So many people. This truly is the heart of the Empire.
this personally.
But I...
Don't even try to make this better. You should have won that fight, Zhang, but you suddenly developed that blind spot, didn't you? Did the glint of silver get in your eye?
Joe, honestly,
You needed something for to witness one?
Yes, I need to speak with you in private. It seems Warrior Zhang has decided to retire.
I'm finished here. If you're here to fight, do what they tell you. You couldn't see for yourself? I was just retired from the Imperial arena. Guess my spot in the roster is yours if you want it. Go find Kui the promoter if you think you can fill my shoes. He's always upstairs in the third room over or so, and looking for new blood. I'm taking what I have left from my winnings and leaving.
Remember Jingwu back in Two Rivers? He talked of fighting in the Imperial arena one day. He would have done well.
Intolerable. One more mistake, Kui, and I'll have you retired. Finding someone else is your problem.
But...
Enough! Find a solution and leave me alone.
This is not an appropriate time to... Wait a moment. You have the look of a fighter about you. Those hands, that stance, even your eyes. I'd know that look anywhere. You must be here to join the most glorious contest in the Empire. Isn't it fortunate that Lucky Cho and I were just discussing how this place needs an M-fusion of new blood?
Master Li used to say that the arena was once the greatest contest in the Empire, but that it has been corrupted in recent years.
Come with me a moment and we'll engagitate in some dissertation about the best decision you'll ever make. is turning out to be an excellent day. Most ostentatious indeed. I apologize if I'm using words beyond your grasp. Very few people can match either the supply or the command of my language. Don't get flustered. Everything I say is perfectly cromulent, and it might do you well to embiggen your vocabulary before you fling accretions my discretion. Strong build, good shoulders, not half bad looking either. You've got what it takes to make it in today's arena. The question is, can you fight? Are you worthy of the arena? I say the answer is a clarion and resounding yes. I may not have heard your name before, but you walk like one who has seen many battles. You are indeed mysterious, stranger. What say we get you signed up for the greatest attraction in all the Empire? The arena awaits. Do you have any idea how much paperwork I have to do when a contestant of the Empire's finest tournament dies? Wards and spells have protected fighters in this place since its construction. It's been easily 20 years since they failed. It was a dark day. My predecessor lost several good men when the spells failed during an event he'd ironically dubbed the Feast of the Ogres. I'm no sorcerer, but I suppose it could happen. Still, any magically inclined person would notice something like that. Even if someone removed them, the protections would reweave themselves automatically in time. They've done so before. That's the spirit of the thing. Now, what name precedes you in your travels? I've heard that one before. Have you any idea how many board students peramputate down here from the Scholar's Garden? Think of something that would sound engaging, ringing down from the rafters. That's how we'll bill you. Raging Dragon, huh? Sounds fast and powerful. I like it. Are you positive that's what you want? Then that is what you shall have. Come and tell me when you're ready for a fight, and I'll get you started. Since you're new, you'll start in the qualifying rounds. The money's small at that level, but it's there. Any other questions? One other thing. You should talk to the other fighters now and then. They will be watching you, and you should get to know them as well.
We're all one big happy family.
You're a big, happy idiot, Han.
As you can see, they always have something to say. For your first match, we'll start you off against a mighty ogre. I'll be watching your style closely to see how you fare. Impress me, and I'll take you to the top. Even our great champions start out against the ogre. Take Raging Ox, who danced around the beast singing drunkenly to earn the crowd's favor, or the Ravager, who defeated him in a single blow. I should take a moment and explain the system we use here. That's the spirit. Dive right in with both feet first. It's not that difficult a system, and you seem bright enough to figure it out. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
A new warrior does battle with the beast.
was an impressive beginning. Normally I'd have started you off against something easier, but you practically ooze potential. You've caught the eyes of the other fighters as well. Go ask them if you don't believe me.
That really was a fantastic bout.
Beating the ogre's nothing special. I could have done better bound and blinded.
Sometimes you don't even need to ask. One fight does not make a champion, though. There are many more opponents ahead of you. Let's move on, shall we? Since you held your own against the ogre brute last time, I'm going to try something exciting for the crowd. I've got 4 boys from some school west of the city who've been bothering me for some tougher matches. I'm giving you all of them at once. It'll wow the crowd and teach them a lesson at the same time. Remember to watch your sides and back. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Four students test their skills against one master.
Those boys won't be back anytime soon. Losing as a group to one opponent would shame a peasant, let alone a student of the martial arts. The crowd's starting to catch on to you. Have you noticed? People like you, and now I'm going to make sure they pay attention. I'm going to have a roughly hewn statue hauled into the ring. I want you to disconstructulate it. Destroy the statue quickly enough, and I'll give you a shot at hapless Han. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me, and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Unyielding stone meets the press of time.
Excellent work. You have bested time itself in destroying that statue. No mean feat, I assure you. I think you're ready to face hapless Han. Show me you're ready for the big time, and I'll make sure you don't have to dance with the children anymore. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me, and we'll get you ready for your next match.
A chance to leave the qualifying division as Raging Dragon faces Hapless Han.
You dealt with Han very well. I knew you would. All of our professional fighters move past him eventually.
Kui, that will be enough. I bring you a message from my employer, Kailan the Serpent. He is impressed with how far you have come in such a short while. The Serpent wants you to know that he is watching your progress very closely. He is most interested to see how you fare in the Bronze Division. Kui, you may breathe again. That is all I had to say.
Well, that was good, I think. He has a distinct interest in the proceedings here. He is an ex-champion, you see. He retired some time ago, even before Raging Ox, who was the champion before the Ravager. Kylon couldn't leave the arena alone, though. He has become a very important man here with the help of a group called the Guild. Lucky Cho is a thug, pure and simple, but he's very good at what he does. He's also a member of the Guild and reports directly to Kylon. Kylon oversees things here in the arena, and the Guild ensures that the authorities leave us in peace. He has a distinct interest in the proceedings here. He is an ex-champion, you see. He retired some time ago, even before Raging Ox, who was the champion before the Ravager. Kylon couldn't leave the arena alone, though. He has become... The Guild is the organization that controls all of the betting in this place. That gives them considerable sway. It is good that they are happy with your progress. Between us, the Guild is also involved in more illicit activities. They are very sensitive about remaining an open secret. Many know about them, but few acknowledge that fact. Right now is a particularly dangerous time, as one of the leaders of the Guild has recently been inhumed. Kylon sees this as an opportunity. Do not discuss them openly. The Guild has many ears. You may ask some of the others in the arena about them if you wish, but I would not bring it up to just anyone. A wise decision. For the sake of your career, I suggest that you limit any questions you have to your fellow fighters.
Well done! That fight was much better than this wine. With all the pure water pouring from the palace, you'd think they might have learned how to make wine that didn't taste like goat piss.
Black Whirlwind, that is you. Are you back to...
No, just here visiting, and making sure nothing happens to your newest fighter.
So you won't be...
No, leave it alone, Queen. You know better than to bring this up. Just mind your business, promoter, and I'll mind mine.
You travel in curious company. Regardless, when you're ready, come talk to me again and we'll discuss your next match. I know him, yes, but I know better than to contravigate his wishes. If you want to talk about it, ask him. I'm staying out of it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must prepare for your entry into the Bronze Division. It will take me a bit of time before you'll be ready for your next fight. You should talk to the other fighters here. They've been watching you and are getting nervous. Of course, I'll need more time than that for these preparations. It's just a matter of preparing the proper documents. Why don't you kill the time by making your way out into the city? See the sights. Maybe visit the Golden Way or the Scholar's Garden. Actually, that reminds me. A woman was here watching your fight against Hapless Han, dressed all in black and veiled. She seemed impressed with your preference. Just before she left, she told me to tell my new fighter that she was still waiting to see you. She said you'd know where. Sounds like quite the invitation.
parentage is below average, and your ancestry is of questionable worth. You dress yourself in the manner of a common laborer. Nobody's paying any attention.
Keep trying, just as I instructed.
Your physique seems exceptional. Clearly you are a peasant. A noble could afford sloth. Your breath is like the wind of an ox. Your last meal was of suspect quality. Your beliefs are superficial, and your culture is substandard.
You are right to demand an explanation. Forgive my servant. I instructed him to find someone not distracted by mere insults, someone who would command respect. Your demand for justification of his arguments was admirable. You are exactly what we need. An outlander strolled into the city several days ago and now sits like a cormorant, taking what he wants from the river of our hospitality. He balks at our attempts to calm him and answers requests for payment with strange coins of questionable value. He needs to go. The Outlander is not a dignitary or traveling merchant. He is a parody of civilized behavior. He spews insults at the Emperor himself. So far, he has escaped the notice of any higher officials. Perhaps he was mistaken for an actor in a troupe, but that will not last. If he is reported, the Lotus Assassins will take notice. They'll want to know if he was harbored or his offense was encouraged. Guilt by association is enough for them. That's what's so infuriating. He doesn't respond to reason. He proposes challenges we don't understand, and then declares himself the winner. Several of our brightest have faced him, but as soon as they get the better of him, he sets off his strange firework and says they are beaten. Normally, the peasants like it when we intellectuals are maligned, but they tire of his presence too. Getting rid of this nuisance will endear you to many. I hope your ability matches your conviction. Several others have fallen short, despite their outrage at his antics. He is in the Scholar's Garden, and no amount of opposition has moved him. Please, I hope you will prove to be a worthy opponent.
The busy streets are almost overwhelming. It is hard to keep focused on what we need to do.
I didn't expect you in your strange training to make it to the Imperial City. You are proving to be a very interesting person. Of course, I could tell that just by looking at you. You have a very strong presence. As the Heavenly Lily, I am above suspicion, but I am restrained by fawning servants. Silk Fox can go anywhere, and people are not shy about their reactions. There is a thrill, of course, and it allows me to find information useful to us both. Death's Hand brought your Master Li to the palace a few days ago. I saw the flyer. He was bound in chains. He must be powerful, but I still don't believe he is Sun Li, the glorious strategist. I was too young to know him. I was told that he and Prince Qin, the third brother, fell defending the Empire 20 years ago. Now it seems they may have been traitors. I discovered this looking through records for information on Death's Hand. Perhaps he tried to influence Sun Li and Sun Qin before corrupting my father. But it doesn't matter who your master is. I could take you to the palace, but Death's Hand controls what my father hears. He must be discredited for you to succeed. Death's Hand has almost total control over my father. We must find conclusive evidence of his crimes and reveal his corruption. And I know how. Construction on the wall has stopped for the first time in generations. The workers now toil in factories building powerful creatures of stone and clay called golems. Death's Hand could use these automatons to seize the Empire, and my father is oblivious. We must infiltrate the Lotus Assassins and find evidence of this treachery. We need proof of Death's Hand's intent from the seat of his power, the Lotus Assassin Fortress. It would be impossible to assault, so just walk in. They are recruiting. Have any Lotus Assassins who saw your face lived to report back? I doubt it. They will not recognize you as the person who fought them in Tian's Landing. They have a vague description full of guesswork that has guards holding people at random. Besides, they expect an attack, not someone trying to catch their eye. I would wager that you may profit from their tasks too. Can you see the beauty in using their own methods of recruitment to fight them? I think they deserve it. There are guilds within the Lotus Assassins. Executioners look for fearsome warriors. Inquisitors are more subversive, and they look for cunning in their agents. If you prove yourself in the arena, they will notice you. My people can spread rumors of your interest. The Executioner will take a real interest when you finish the silver round. Or if you prefer, the Inquisitor recruiter is also seeking new people. He might be open to persuasion. Death's Hand rules over the Lotus Assassins, so I take special interest in their activities. I've had most of my life to ask questions. You suspect my motives? You have no reason to doubt me. If I wanted the Lotus Assassins to find you, I could simply tell them your name. Yes, I will have my people spread rumors of your interest. Once you pass the silver round, the Executioner will take an interest. I'm sure he will find you as impressive as I do. Or, if you prefer, court the Inquisitor. Ask Scholar Dongao in the Scholar's Garden about him. I hear Dongao is closer to the Assassins than he should be. I will wait at your flyer, or I could travel with you. Before you get too lost, perhaps we should, discuss how closely we will be working together? Of course. I look forward to it.
Well, look who we have here. There's no princess to save you this time.
Do you think we'd forget? You can't humiliate us and just walk away. We'll teach you to insult a guard of the Imperial City.
White Demon, As amusing as your savage dances are, once again I have proven the superiority of setting your nose to the grindstone and not mucking about. Now bring some refreshments in a proper mug, or I'll take back the coins of my home and country. Don't you heathens know the worth of a proper king's halfpenny?
Generous visitor, if our customs are so displeasing to you, perhaps you should find lodging elsewhere?
Please? And leave you lot to your primitive ways? Tell them what I think of that, Squire Percival.
Sir Roderick Ponce von Fontelbottom, the magnificent bastard, will do no such thing. He means to educate you all.
Good lad. Found him wading in the mud, planting weeds. You can't keep your crackers crisp doing that. God help you if you don't know the horror of a soggy biscuit. I've given him dignity, and unless one of you has the will to deny that I'm your better, I suggest you start learning. We'll have you in proper trousers by the morrow. What's that? Someone stepping to the fore? Let's have a look at you. Ah, you're a large fellow, aren't you? Certainly room enough for brains in there, but I doubt if you have any more sense than the rest of this crowd. The simple truth is that I have bested every one of you who has come forward, whether in tests of wit or combat. You faced a champion of king and country. Now, I didn't ask to land here, but if a storm is going to cast my ship into the very heart of such a dark empire, I'll bring the light of knowledge wherever I can. You must hunger for guidance. You're like children. I mean, only a handful of you can even grow a decent moustache. What kind of place is this? Can you now? Shall we put that to a test? I welcome the chance that you might impress me with a glimmer of intelligent insight. But I will acknowledge that I am likely to disagree just because I know you are, lacking. We will need educated men to judge the merits of our arguments. I've gone to great pains to learn your barbaric tongue, only to find that none of you has much to say. Can you convince me otherwise? I've heard a distinct lack of couplets and quatrains, to say nothing of pentameters. Is it any wonder you people live as you do? I charge you with defending the heart of your people. If a group of judges determines that you have adequately done so, I will declare you the winner. Whoever you wish. These five, standing here. I'm sure there will be a balance of opinion. The test must be fair. Go on, talk to them all to prove I haven't coerced them. We'll begin the debate when you're ready. Then we'll see how you fare in combat. Doubt you'll do very well. Like the rest, you're all just too damn skinny.
I heard you accept the Outlander's challenge. I'm grateful you have seen fit to defend us all. I would be honored to sit in judgment of the debate. Several of my fellow scholars have also volunteered. To do otherwise would only help the Outlander win in the long run. If he wants a true debate, we will allow it to progress fairly. Of course, I doubt his arguments will have the weight that he expects, not here in the heart of the Jade Empire. The best course is to appeal to the individual preferences of the judges. We are theoretical thinkers, really. It is not so much the subject, but the tactic that triggers reaction. Each judge will respond only to argument styles they favor. If a judge likes fact, use it once and he will join your side. Use it again and he will switch back just to further debate. Other arguments may not interest him at all. I wish you luck. I look forward to your defense of the Empire.
Well, ready to set the ponies in motion, are we? Let's declare some rules and get to it. You don't mind if I make this interesting, do you? I just want to make sure that this is more entertaining than simply blathering about whose walls are higher or whose philosophers really know what's what. It will be a simple matter. 5 judges, 6 topics. I'll pose my argument about why your foolish land stumbles like a child, and you try to answer. The judges will raise their arms to indicate whom they favor. Arms up for you, arms down for me. After 6 topics, if you have a majority, you are the winner. By the Queen's corset, if you get them all on your side at any time, I'll declare the match over. Now, shall we proceed? I will pull no punches, and I expect no mercy on your part. Let's see which of us is truly superior. Well, what shall be my first point of contention? I know, the most basic of concerns for a culture, the currency of its economy. What manner of society would use the silver coin as the basis of trade? Gold is clearly superior, which you admit by using it for important statuary. Your understanding of what determines value is flawed. Your rebuttal? Well, you are clearly in the minority, but I can spare no quarter. To the next topic. I call attention to the arrogance of your empire. You simply assume that all lands outside your borders are the domain of barbarians and monsters. How can you truly know they are uncivilized until you've proven it by conquest? Crush them beneath your heel. You sit here thinking while far-off lands yearn for direction, not unlike what I am attempting with you. Well, a majority on your side, but the debate is not over yet. Shall I draw attention to your foolish reliance on personal combat? You've got strange dragon powder arms, but you waste them on spectacle and flying chariots. Any decently civilized people would have developed a proper array of personal sidearms by now, like old Mirabelle here. Well, a majority on your side, but the debate is not over yet. I challenge your foolish beliefs and the irrational behaviors they produce. Dragons, spirits, and even talk of unresting dead. Pah! Just look at the collective foolishness that you call a floating palace. The constant superstitious yammering of your peasants even has me seeing it. And how the bloody hell would you get a moat up there? Ridiculous, I say. Well, a majority on your side, but the debate is not over yet. I say that you don't seem to understand the relationship between the ruling class and the peasantry. Your commoners are far too happy to be productive. A proper spiral of misery shows that they are doing a decent day's work. Your peasants only suffer because of foolish superstitions about the dead walking around. Well, you are clearly in the minority, but I can spare no quarter. To the next topic. This will be the final topic. If you don't have a majority at the end of this round, you will have to admit that I have outdone you. A simple criticism. Your ridiculous clothes. Not a decently puffed pair of trousers to be seen. I ask you, what have you done on the pantaloon front? And why do you remain so clean when any sane man knows the only way to keep devils of the dark at bay is to be brash and to carry the air of the earth? Bathing is bad for the humors as well. Do you people know nothing of maintaining your bile? Well, it would seem that a majority of your fellows have decided your arguments were more persuasive. I expected no less. I could not expect a fair contest in the heart of your city. I was a fool to think otherwise. I seek satisfaction. You have bested me in debates, but true honor is decided on the dueling field. The entry hall here has walls to be up against, corners to be backed into, and floor enough on which to be down but not out. Whatever your metaphor, I'll beat it. Return to me when you are ready, and we will walk there together, just to ensure that no one gets lost or suffers an accident that would prevent a fair fight. Frankly, I don't know what you people are capable of. Good! Let's get this over with so I can return to schooling the rest of your fellows. I envy you. You are about to experience for the first time the skill that has forged an empire and traveled the world. There will be pain as well, but I imagine it will be almost worth it.
Bloody hell, Sonic Trigger! Bloody hell, Sonic Trigger! Bloody hell! Sonic Trigger! Bloody hell, Sonic Trigger!
That was a fine display of skill.
It was a fair fight, Sir Roderick, within the rules you specified.
Yes, old boy, you've got it right. I was really sat down, I believe. Like the fall of the old bridge across the Grand. My humours are in disarray, I tell you. I suppose I should have seen it coming. Your win in the debate was a sure sign. I do believe I have underestimated the lot of you. Regardless, you have beaten me. That's a point of honor I cannot deny. Well, there's no other thing for it. Intended or not, you've earned a reward from me. The unsuccessful combatant in a duel must arrange a worthy gift for the victor. I wouldn't be much of an ambassador for my country if I didn't abide by its customs. The Duchess of Almsbottom's rules of engagement are quite clear on this matter. A manual of regimented conditioning will serve you well. Red meat, constitutionals, and union suit calisthenics. You're never so fit as when the johns are long. Right, first of all, fluff my travelling trousers. We will darken this garden no more.
Yes? I like to think that we can take time to talk about important things. I don't want to seem ungrateful for her help, but having Silk Fox here is causing me some concern. I mean, she is the daughter of the Emperor, and we do not know his role in Master Li's capture. Can she be trusted? To you, perhaps, but not to me. I think I am perceived as a rival, but no one has told me what the game is. I am not. Why would you suggest that? And why did you smirk? Are you trying to pit us against each other? Does it amuse you to see people compete for your affection? Your affection. Did I just say that? Well, damn you for being right. You have always been a good friend to me, but I never meant... I mean, I couldn't... No. No, I should have more control over this. This is too uncertain. You can't manipulate me into admitting something like this. Not when you could leave whenever you want. I prefer to have more control over myself, and as much control over what goes on around me as possible. Silk Fox, or whatever she wants to be called, is an unknown I can't compensate for. I can't stay in balance if I don't know what she represents. You and I, we talk and share thoughts, but she forces me to consider where that might lead, both good and bad. I'm not ready for that. I suppose it does. Strange that you are becoming more adept at reading my moods than I am. I think we will have a great deal more to discuss in the coming days. I'm looking forward to it. Until then, thank you for being so understanding. Master Li was right. You are special. Don't go too far. I'd get lost in this city. I know it.
This will be a great tragedy.
There are rumors flitting about the city that you seek the attentions of the executioners. These rumors come from the palace itself, leaving me intrigued. You are a novice with no standing in the arena. What makes you think you are of any interest to me? I have no instruction to give. If you want to catch my eye, you need to show me that your skills are far beyond the norm. If you were to knock Iron Soldier from his perch as Silver Division champion, I would be impressed. I will be here if you wish to petition me further, but I don't acknowledge anything less than the best. Return when you are worthy, and no sooner.
Many people try to break into the Bronze Division and fail miserably. You should be proud of yourself.
You deserve it. It was an honor to face you.
Crimson Kana is the champion of this round. You'll have to face her eventually. Be ready when you do. Now that you have qualified for the Bronze Division, your challenges will be more difficult, but you'll earn greater rewards. I want the very abacuses of heaven to rattle with the name Raging Dragon, so I've prepared something memorable. The guards rounded up a group of subhuman things around the great southern forest. We're going to release them into the ring in groups for you. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
These monsters crave the flesh of man.
That was a good start to the Bronze Division. Those beasts are far stronger than they look. Next, you're going to step into what we call the Pit of Pain. It's not the most original name, I'll admit, but that's 500 years of tradition for you. The arena floor will be set up with ancient magical devices. They will attempt to fry you to a crisp, much to the crowd's delight. Your job is to stay on your feet for the course of the match while they fling deadly projectiles your way. I'd suggest dodging, but that's just me. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
The Pit of Pain. Only the quick survive its fiery embrace.
Fantastic! A test of speed passed with exceptional celery. Now
Your sudden and polite silences are always appreciated, Kui. I have a message for Raging Dragon. Kylon the Serpent has, as promised, been watching you intently. You have impressed him so far, and he is interested to see how you fare in your next match. The Serpent foresees your victory in the next match, and he has backed his prediction with silver. He sincerely hopes that his faith in your skills was not misplaced. That is all. If you will excuse me, I have some people who need to be spoken to.
Ah, well, I'm certain that won't be a problem for you. Did you have a question for me? Yes, your next fight. There's been a bit of a change in plans. Not that it will affect you too much, of course. It's all part of the traditions of the arena, you see. I have word that you're going to be facing a fighter especially chosen from the guild, you see. As soon as you're ready, you'll be facing him instead of a normal match. The guild's the organization that controls the betting here. That's not all, though. Kylon the Serpent has a lot of influence here as well. I have to bow to certain pressures. I don't like it that much, but smart men don't voice that opinion too loudly. Not around here. I'm certain it will be a small thing. Best to just finish it now. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
many of you are asking yourselves why the serpent would return to the ring? Am I not retired? Yes! Does that mean I do not care about your entertainment? No! You've all seen the fury and the intense focus of Raging Dragon in the ring. Now, it's time to put these abilities to the test. And so, the serpent gives you a real spectacle. Have your silver handy to place your wagers. I give you evil and terror incarnate.
That was an exceptional fight. I haven't seen demons in the ring before. No one questions your skills. That is why you were allowed to fight that beast. I'm convinced that you deserve a shot at Crimson Kana. Your victory has sealed the deal. That reminds me, I was asked to instruct you to talk with Lucky Cho before your next match. He didn't say, and when I asked, he gave me that glare of his. Go, speak with him now. The sooner you do, the sooner I can return you to the ring.
Before you face Kana, I'd like to present you with a mutually beneficial arrangement. Fortunately for you, my employer, Kailan the Serpent, has a vested interest in your success against Kana. This is Sweet Poison Lin, a master of the Toxicant arts. Lin, this is Raging Dragon, the fighter we discussed.
I know this one by reputation, and that's enough. I trust you'll consider this discussion private and potentially very beneficial.
Crimson Kana's rise to Brown's division champion has been good for business, but she has become troublesome of late. She believes that the Serpent runs the arena with little concern for honor, and she's right. The problem is that she cares. The Serpent and I believe that Kana needs to be stopped. We want you to replace her as the Bronze Champion.
It should be a simple matter to slip a slow-acting but extremely deadly poison into Kana's drink before the match. I would say you would be unable to lose this match unless you were to drop dead yourself. What could be easier? When Cho approached me regarding this matter, I felt that it might be in the best interests of the Greater Guild if I were involved.
If you accept, the guild will cover half of Lin's usual fee. The remaining cost would be roughly half of your winnings from defeating Kana. If that is your choice, then so be it. You may deal with Kana on your own. I strongly advise you not to bring this up to anyone. I hope my point speaks for itself.
It might not be wise to run to the officials with this. But surely we should warn Crimson Kana.
Our business is concluded. It is time for you to leave.
Thawir nes tu kuiruk. Ayer fun. Sair irwu nisir tintina yewir. Wafun. Wo nisir wir uknokuna fifir. Patier. Sayer uyufwis patuyer? Uksayer kun ni kakno aku kwawir fuisir aku fagita. Uksayer caritas fonir sisayer ir furk tatasier, ir karanos sakupono. Wo ifoyer uk sunurk danowe na wafta tasieruk. On mi pifir. Wono wiri fuiro parir noka sisayer na workur ktantir. Aka wo na wir sawir sansi noka uk napir. Nara wir wo ifoyer uk sunurk. Wo sayer pinir sokart ayawir. Uksier watoafu ni froto usosawir, uktatasier ni ryoki. Kwawir uyu itarir noka sisayer na workur, wo nisir wir noka thakuna fifir. Wo sayer pinir sokart ayawir.
I want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What do you need? Until the guild stepped in, I was ready to give you an attempt at the bronze division for your last match. Now it's time. Are you ready to face Crimson Kana, the finest sword this august arena has seen in 5 generations? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
The challenger for the bronze division, Crimson Kana, must fend off Raging Dragon.
Kana's winning streak has been broken at last. I don't know if you've heard, but Kana has proclaimed that the first fighter who extriciates her from her championship will learn the secrets of her technique.
Wo sayer pinir sokart ayawir.
When you walk the streets and hear your name among the crowds, be sure that your ego does not swell like the body of 11 gaping maw, god of inopportune gluttony.
Wo sawayer noka ukraponi apawafa sonsiyer tuwemo. Wo nikfra fo wo sawier kwanpa. Ukwiro ni sayer tatasiyer yu, wo nawir siyer fu ni winyanakan. Sata kwa wir ni wosa wir sawa wira suir cook. Wosa wire nota ugrapa ni ahawafa sonsi yetuya. Wo ifu wir uk sunurk danowe na wafta tasi yeruk. On we pifir. Wona wiri fu wir uk tarir no ka sisa yer na workurk tanti yer. Wosa wire no ka uk rapro ni apawafa sonsi yer tu wirwo. Wosa yer pinir so kart ayawier. Tier nik puntuir, poir nokauk, soir takitir noni.
The Bronze Division champion approaches. I hope you're ready for the challenge awaiting you in the Silver Division. Remember, Soldier's the champion at this level. He'll be watching you.
Dogs nipping at my heels aren't worthy of watching.
What do you need? Now that you are champion of the Bronze Division, the Silver Division awaits. It seems that, indirectly, this serpent has decided to keep your career interesting. A demon has been added to the regular roster since your earlier victory, and since you've shown aptitude, I'm letting you face him first. This is indeed an honor, though it will not be easy. Are you ready to defeat this horror? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Will the demon rend flesh from bone, or will a lone warrior prove stronger?
Double sabers. White demon.
Another demon falls. We shall have to add a new division for you alone if this keeps up. Kylon the Serpent wishes to speak with you personally. This is a rare honor. Do try to be polite. You have already been granted access to the back room of the arena, and the Serpent's private chamber is just off of it. You may as well go now and see what he wants. Oh, and one other thing. The Serpent has requested that you visitate him alone. I know you usually have a friend with you, but they'll have to remain behind for this meeting.
We should have told you that Kylon will only see you alone. Are you ready to go in now?
I'll wait out front with the others if you need me. Be careful. I don't trust this situation at all.
It is vital that we talk a moment. You handled yourself well against the demonic servitor. It was a rewarding experience for us both, I'm sure. Take this as my thanks. You are a young man, but I know you have the wisdom to see that my friendship has advantages.
You may find that certain opportunities, mutually rewarding arrangements between us, will come your way in the near future. Good. I enjoy discussions with sensible people. Right now is an interesting time for an organization known as the Guild. I've no doubt that Qui has told you about us, if you didn't already know. Our organization is involved in many different activities, most of which operate below the view of the authorities of this great empire. I am suggesting that we align our goals for a time, an arrangement that could benefit us both. The Guild, you see, has recently developed a vacancy in its upper echelons. A man by the name of Gao the Greater has been killed, and with his death, a new leader must be chosen. I intend to replace him in that role, and I need good people to back me. You knew him, yet you aren't associated with our organization. The logical conclusion is that you are his killer. If you are the one who killed Gao, then I owe you a favor. Consider my reluctance to turn you into the Lotus Assassins a repayment for that debt in full. There is the matter, however, of your friend, Whirlwind. I'm sure you know that he was one of the fighters here and that he left the arena. But do you know why? He has good reason not to tell you about this part of his admittedly spotty past. Whirlwind's past is certainly a colorful one. Did he tell you that he was thrown out of the arena? Public displays of rage and drunkenness, uttered threats of murder, excessive violence, property damage, and I believe several charges of defecating in public. If you trust him, you are a fool. The Black Whirlwind is an impressive fighter, but he is better avoided than confronted. We couldn't let him fight as he was, so he left. His brother, Raging Ox, wisely stayed here and went on to become champion. You could reach that point yourself, you know. Indeed, that's a distinct possibility. To become champion yourself, you will need my support. That means you and I will work together closely. A wise position to take in any negotiation. I can respect that. You see... What is that noise?
Hey, you can't...
Damn you, serpent! I'll kill you where you stand!
No, you won't, Whirlwind. Just like last time, you will leave. I can see that this polite discussion has concluded, as so many do, in your odorous presence. We may talk again. Perhaps.
We're leaving now. You and I have to talk. Alone. It's important. Look, you can't trust Kylo. I know he was probably offering you the world, or maybe all the wine in it if he were really crafty, but...
You didn't honestly think you were going to slip down here after that little display, did you, Whirlwind?
Step back, Joe. For once in my life, I've got something important to tell someone.
You have nothing important to say, you lummox. You've embarrassed Kylon the Serpent, and I'm going to make sure you never get a chance to repeat your performance.
I've been waiting for this. Time to cut off the serpent's tail. Monster for a little guy. Good point, but he was particularly plucky. It's nice when they stick around longer so you can practice your moves. Not the first time I've gone up against one of Kylon's thugs, you know. Not at all. Remember I told you I used to fight in the arena? Well, I was the best there was. Then my brother came to the city and decided he'd join the arena too. The arena was about the same as it is now. Kui and Kylon were there and Lucky Cho too, but he was just a runt back then. My brother became the arena champion. The Raging Ox. They said he retired, but he didn't retire. He was killed. I should know. I'm the one who killed him. Raging Ox was one of Kylon's men. Well, he wasn't always. Kylon approached me first, and when I turned him down, he went to my brother instead. When Ox joined up with Kylon, I stopped getting good matches. Ox was fighting his way to becoming champion, and doing a little work for the guild on the side. He was so cocksure and wouldn't listen to his older brother. Once he fell in with Kylon, he stopped talking to me. Soon Ox became Kylon's enforcer and carried out his bidding. He'd skulk around in robes so no one would know the arena champion was a common thug. One night I followed Ox back to Kylon's. I was drunk and I was mad. I just wanted to tell Ox how dangerous Kylon was, convince him to leave. But Kylon was there. He tried to interfere. I attacked him, and Ox tried to stop me. When it was over, Ox was dead, and my axe was covered in his blood. Kylon just stood there, smiling. I would have killed him if I wasn't so stunned. After that, I left. For the first time in my life, I ran. I ran, and then I drank myself into a stupor that lasted for half a year. Good idea. We'll leave Kylon to explain how Cho's body ended up in his room. Lucky Cho's death just put you on the Serpent's wanted list. I'd really like to see Kylon's face if you become arena champion. Of course, I'd rather just kill him. Come on, let's go. doesn't matter. I was born by my mother and sucked at her teeth like every man. Well, like every man does with his mother. Anyway, by the time I was old enough to swing an axe, my father was dead and my mother disowned me. Of course, killing my father might have given the reason. I think she did it out of shame. My father beat me and my brother senseless and made our lives miserable. Either way, that was the end of my childhood. Ha! I wasn't brave, I was furious. And he was drunk. It was an easy fight. I traveled a lot after that, begging for some things and taking the rest. Tough times, but not the worst. My axes and my wits kept me alive. Yeah. I had some wits before I got them all knocked out of me. Mostly I just used my axes and my fists. You'd think a 7-year-old might be an easy target, but I soon learned just where to cut a man to make him squeal like a pig. Ah, those were the days. Whatever.
I am honored that you have chosen me.
I want to hear that you're ready for... What do you need? This next fight should be fairly simple for you. I once more want to send you up against 4 opponents. The crowd loves those fights. These are tougher than the students you faced before, but should pose no problem. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
We found them just like this.
You did?
3 Reach, the old stableman, found them. He kept everyone else out.
We can trust him. What about Cho? Do we know who's responsible?
Last I saw of him, he was following Raging Dragon.
He fights next, doesn't he? Replace the men slated for that match with our own, and ensure that their blades are coated with extract from the ebon orchid. Even the ancient magic of this place could not neutralize that poison.
It will be done. What about Lucky Cho? There are hundreds of people here to see the new fighter. We can't carry the body out of here.
Then we don't. You must always use the resources available to you.
Flashing blades and deadly grace.
Double sabers. My body is healed.
I do not know who those men were. The fighters I picked for you to face were not guild men, and they certainly lacked poison-coated blades. The wards are useless against poison. That's a danger we have never been able to solve. Those men were Kailan's, not mine. I keep myself as far away from that end of things as I can. You have to believe that I look out for my fighters. Just before you came up here, I received word from one of the guildmen from outside the arena. They send their apologies. I believe they feel Kailan's actions were not appropriated to the situation. You shouldn't have to fear assassins again, not after that message. You are not hearing this from me, but tensions have risen between the Serpent and the Guild itself. He's making a bid for control, and some factions are quite upset. You may feel caught in the middle, but the weather sages say the eye of the storm is the safest place. We've had a request from the Imperial Army. They want one of our best to help them test out a small group of war machines known as golems. I've decided to put you up against them. I want you to prove that our folks are superior to anything the army could devise. Are you ready to show them what you've got? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
The Imperial Army honors us with a most unique trial.
Dire Flame. No! You resist me? Longsword. Double sabers. Longsword. Spirit Thief. Longsword. Spirit Thief. Longsword.
I knew you could defeat those things. The Imperial Army's telling me they figured out some way to improve upon the design, thanks to you. I say stick to traditional soldiers. Sagacious Tien needed no machines to build the Empire. I rushed out notification of this match, and we've had the outcriers shouting themselves hoarse. I hear many nobles will even be in attendance. It's rare that the Silver Division rests balanced against a single victory on the scales of combat, you know. But you, Raging Dragon, are what truly draws them in. Once in a lifetime does a single person throw the grand institution of the arena into such disarray. Will you face Soldier now? The Silver Division Championship awaits you. Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
soldier has faced all comers, but how will the silver champion fare against Raging Dragon?
Soldier is a worthy opponent. I hope you understand how many warriors have tried to extrapolate him from the Silver Division Championship. Be proud! From here, your battles will be even harder. A test, if you will, to see if you stand a chance against the Ravager. Impress the crowd, and you will have your chance against the Ravager himself. I can promise you that. What do you need? The Gold Division is the toughest series of fights in the Empire. Ultimately, you can think of it as a test to see if you're ready to face the Ravager. Your first match will be a rare challenge. There is a style that was banned from the tournament combat 5 centuries ago. You will face the Phoenix Unity style. I do not believe in outdated prohabitations. As you may see, this style is not fair for single combat, but it is a fair test of a Master Warrior's abilities. Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
The Phoenix Unity is among the rarest of styles. No one person has defeated it. Yet.
Double sabers. White Demon. Spirit Thief. Longsword. White Demon. Style superior. Spirit Thief. My body's here. White Demon. My body is here.
Legends say that the Phoenix Unity style was banned from tournaments because it was unbeatable. But I've never put much stock in legends. That was exactly how I wanted your Gold Division matches to start. You need the people on your side before you can face the Ravager. I was going to do something different, but I've had a request from the Sung Brothers. They said that there's been an affluence of the fates and a reemergence of the planets. I'm not quite sure what that means, but if they want to face you, then I have to honor their request. Besides, defeating them is important to your career. I require that any fighter who wishes to face the Ravager be able to defeat all three of the Sung Brothers. Then I know you won't be torn to shreds. Well, at least not before the gong stops ringing, at any rate. The brothers are ready if you are. Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Speed, might, and magic will be needed to defeat these brothers three.
Three opponents at once, all of them exceptionally skilled. I thought no one could impass them, but you have. Defeating their combinated might has impressed the crowd immensely. Things are interesting right now. Be as careful walking the streets as you are in the ring. I don't think Kailan is pleased with your progress. I want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What do you need? I want to give you a shot at the championship. I really do. I need to convince others, though. I'm going to hold an event so huge that it will rock the reaches of the Empire. The Imperial Engagement. The arena turns upon you. You will be a man alone against a rushing wave of opponents, great and small. You must stand against them all, and when you do, your right to challenge the Ravager will be indisputable.
Time to take you down a peg.
I think it's going to be a fun challenge. You might even survive if you pace yourself.
The concept is simple enough. If you can defeat your foe with exceptious alacrity, then you have a moment to collect yourself. If you tarry, then you will be swamped. You will be facing all the champions you have dealt with already, and more. Are you ready for me to finish the arrangements? If so, we'll get everyone set up. Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
The Imperial engagement begins! An ogre begins the onslaught!
White
ruthless hand enters the fray. What is the greater foe? Exhaustion or a fiend fallen from the heavens?
Spirit Thief.
Iron Soldier makes another foray against his nemesis. How long can one warrior last, battling a tide of foes?
Longsword. White Demon.
For this battle, Sung Bu enters alone. His speed is unmatched.
Double Sabers. White Demon. Spirit Thief. Spirit Thief.
The towering strength of Sung Bu crashes upon the ring.
Spirit Thief. White Demon.
The master of mysticism is the last to enter this epic confrontation.
Spirit Thief. Longsword.
Your loss aside, that was an amazing match. The crowd's clapping.
The Imperial engagement begins! An ogre begins the onslaught!
White demon.
Hapless Hand enters the fray! What is the greater foe? Exhaustion or a fiend fallen from the heavens?
My body is healed.
Iron Soldier makes another foray against his nemesis.
White demon.
How long can one warrior last, battling a tide of foes?
White demon.
For this battle, Sung Bu enters alone. His speed is unmatched.
White demon. You will fall.
The towering strength of Sung Bu crashes upon the ring.
Spirit thief.
The master of mysticism is the last to enter this epic confrontation.
White demon. Spirit thief. Focus.
Your loss aside, that was an amazing...
The Imperial engagement begins! An ogre begins the onslaught!
White demon.
Hapless Hand enters the fray! What is the greater foe? Exhaustion or a fiend fallen from the Nemesis!
Spirit Thief.
How long can one warrior last, battling a tide of foes? For this battle, Sung Bu enters alone. His speed is unmatched. The towering strength of Sung Bu crashes upon the ring. The master of mysticism is the last to enter this epic confrontation.
Your loss aside, that I want to give you...
The Imperial engagement begins! An ogre begins the onslaught!
Wait,
Hapless Hand enters the fray! What is the greater foe? Exhaustion or a fiend fallen from the heavens? Iron Soldier makes another foray against his nemesis. How long can one warrior last, battling a tide of foes? For this battle, Sung Bo enters alone. His speed is unmatched.
You're lost.
The Imperial engagement begins! An ogre begins the onslaught! Hapless Hand enters the fray! What is the greater foe? Exhaustion or a fiend fallen from the heavens?
Spirit Thief.
Iron Soldier makes another foray against his nemesis. How long can one warrior last, battling a tide of foes? For this battle, Sung Bu enters alone. His speed is unmatched.
You will fall!
The towering strength of Sung Bu crashes upon the ring. The master of mysticism is the last to enter this epic confrontation.
Spirit thief! White demon! You will be crushed! Spirit thief! White demon! Focus!
You have just emerged the victor from a multitudinous concretion of raw fighting talent. Amazing! The crowd loves you, and you have proven yourself enough in my eyes. No other fighter stands a chance against the Ravager. But you must think of your safety. The Ravager strikes with such power that even the wards of this arena may not be enough to save you. Your match could end in death. It almost happened when Sung Bu faced him alone, and he was the last opponent to tackle the champion alone. The Ravager grows more fierce with each fight, as if time were making him stronger. If you face him, we may not be able to end the match in time. It is that time. The Ravager awaits. Can I assist? Things are interesting right now. Be as careful walking the streets as you are in the ring. I don't think Kailan is pleased.